Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I think this is something that I've talked on before, more so with video games. But overall, asking this question, no, I do not think that I have asked this question before when it comes to gaming. But anyways, I wanted to ask the question to any developer and to any publisher, regardless of whoever it is that's signing off on some of these games being released. Now, I ain't gonna say all video games are like this, but there are some video games where I personally don't believe that they should see the public, not until that game is fully functional and working. And when it comes out, it ain't gonna get no mixed rating. It ain't gonna get no negative rating, whether it's, mostly negative, very negative, or overwhelmingly negative. No, that game has to get a positive rating, all right? And you see nowadays when a game is good, you see where that game is either going to have a very positive rating or an overwhelmingly positive rating. But anything less than that, there's something wrong with the game. Even with mostly positive, I've seen where some games where they've sat at a mostly positive, and I'm like, nah, something's off with this game. Something ain't right. And then when you play it, then it's like, oh, well, that's the reason. The game ain't fully developed yet. And I get it that a lot of the times, that's where, developers, why they put their games in early access, but it's like, then they take their game out of early access, and it still feels like I'm playing the same thing. And it's like, just because you slap that early, I feel like that some people do that with their game. They slap that early access tag on it because they know that early access games be selling. It's like, oh, we're getting early access to a game that might hit one day. And that's the thing. I don't know whether or not that game is going to be a hit. I don't know whether or not this game's going to be good whenever it gets out of early access. Because there's games I've seen sit in early access for years, and it's a game where it's not driving me to playing it just because it's now officially out of early access. And I feel like that they hype that stuff up, but it's like, fam, you have to understand that just because you hype up your game, and I get it, any and everybody's gonna hype up something that they work on, but just because you hype it up doesn't mean that it's gonna be a good game. One game that I could talk on in particular is Undisputed. Undisputed is a boxing game where it makes me want to go back and play the old Fight Night games. Like, I did that earlier today. I played Fight Night Round 3, and I have to say, even though it's been a minute since I sat down and played that game felt more developed. And yeah, I mean, it's a 14-year-old game. But that game, well, actually, no, that was when Fight Night Champion had came out. Fight Night Round 3 came out long before that, so it's some years old. But it's like, how is a game that came out years ago better than a game that came out today? And that's just the thing that amazes me when it comes to gaming, is that how is it that a video game that was developed years ago with less technology, less developing, like just tech and all that stuff, just overall, just all technology that goes into video game development, it was less back then. We have more now, and yet you're giving us less of a video game. I don't get that. And then on top of that, you're charging us more. Here's the thing. I just wanted to read out the tech specs for that video game Undisputed. I just overall want people to let me know. Maybe I'm just overly criticizing the game, but anyways, so they have like a list of all the things that you could do in the game, and just all the stuff that's available in the game. So they say play through an epic journey from amateur boxing tournaments all the way to becoming undisputed champion in the true to life career mode. So they have a career mode. Create your own fighter with character creator. Customize everything from build to tattoos to shorts and gloves. All right, so they have it where you could create a character. Revolutionary footwork mechanics, including a loose movement toggle to help you get around the ring with ease, and a flat-footed movement when your stamina drops. And then the other one, more than 60 individual punches, punch from multiple angles and directions, fit to set up and trap a counter. I think that's how you pronounce that word. But anyways, all the tools needed to be defensive, to be a defensive wizard: slip punches, weave, dodge, and block. Physics-driven interactions, so punches can sometimes go around or even through the guard. Up close and personal insight fighting like never before. Manage stamina over the course of a fight with the adrenaline system. 50 attributes and traits to differentiate styles. I think that's how it look, bro. It's late at night. Words ain't wording, all right? Not at this time of night. And capabilities of fighters. Multiple AI styles and difficulty settings for everyone from amateur to pound for pound masters. Now, here's the thing. Because if you guys know me, you know I be playing games on the easiest difficulty. And it's been like that for years, you know? And so here's the thing. You would think with an easy difficulty, yeah, I'm not expecting the boxer to just stand there and allow me to hit him, you know? Yeah, throw in some hits, do a couple of blocks and all that stuff, you know, just overall, like, make it to where it feels like it's an authentic boxing match, but I am going to have the upper hand. That's if I want to play it on the easiest mode. If I want to play on the hardest mode, then yeah, have it where that boxer can knock me out in one hit and stuff. But overall, though, the thing is this. I paid, how much money is this game? I paid $49.99. I don't even know. I can't remember if that was the OG price when that game had came out. But regardless, I paid money for this game. I'm expecting a fully... Well, okay, so when it was in early access, yes, it was an early access game. So I was like, all right, I'll just wait until the game fully releases, you know? Game fully releases, ain't nothing changed. Not one single thing has changed. So the issue that I had with that game was that your boxer, when you're swinging on somebody, he seemed like he don't want to hit the other boxer. Now, when has there ever been a time where if you're fighting with somebody and you don't want to hit them? I understand if you see that there might be something wrong or you don't want to fight that person and that's the reason why you don't want to hit them. I can understand that. But if your intentions are to fight with somebody and you swing on them, how do you think you would react if your body just wasn't connecting with... You're going to get upset. You're going to get mad. You're going to feel a certain way about that. And you're going to be thinking to yourself, what is going on right now? Why am I not connecting with this person? Why am I not hitting them? What's happening with my body right now? Do they have a force field on them? Is there something preventing me within my body to hitting this person? Because if not, fam, I should be swinging. My thing is this. I need to see talking to the developers, publishers, everybody behind Undisputed. I need to see you guys get into a fight. I need to see you guys in a boxing match. Because my thing is this. If you do not understand the fundamentals of boxing, you should not be developing a boxing game. Under any circumstances, just because my thing is this, just because you watch some highlight videos and some movies about boxing, probably watched like a high-end pay-per-view that came out earlier this year of a boxing match or any other year you guys was working on this game, just because you watched some things about boxing doesn't mean that you know everything about boxing. My thing is this, if I'm coming out with a boxing game, I want everybody to have a good experience. I don't want it to where only the very few are gonna have a good experience, but everybody else, it's like, oh, they gonna most likely delete the game, but we still gonna have their money. And to me, I just find that so messed up, where it's like we're living in a day and age where you have a lot of people out there that just wants to put out unfinished video games, and then they take our money, and it's like, that's not how stuff should work. It shouldn't work where you take my money and overall it's like I get an unfinished product. When my thing is this, how would that make you feel if you went out and bought you a car and it was unfinished? Doors are missing, steering wheel is missing, engine is missing, the whole car is missing. And they're all like, oh, wait until... Here's the thing. And this is how it is with gaming. For those that don't really be gaming like that. Pretty much, they're like, so yeah, using that example. So pretty much, they're like, hey, in a couple of months, we'll give you a door. After that, we'll give you the bolts for the tires. And then we'll come out with this big update where it gives you the body of the car and stuff. But it's still going to be unfinished. And you probably are going to get you a fully functional working car maybe 2 or 3 years from now. And that's when that car will be a fully functional working car. And that's when you'll be able to say, wow, this car is actually good. I didn't pay for no unfinished car when you guys took my money. I paid for a video, like when it's talking on a video game, I paid for a video game. So my thing is this, when has there ever been a time, if we just even talking on video games, when was there ever a time where a video game back in the day, like, yeah, video games now, it's just, yeah, I don't even know what to think of video games now, but video games back in the day, when was, let's just name off some games. All right, so we got Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. That game wasn't unfinished. I played that game numerous times. I didn't notice any issues with that game. Let's see this other game, Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero. That was the very first video game that I ever played my whole, well, not my whole life, but my very first PlayStation 2 game that I played my whole life. That game wasn't unfinished. Let's look at some other games on this list. Into the Matrix. I'm just looking at all the different games that I got in front of me right now. That game wasn't unfinished. Let's see some other True Crime, Street of LA and New York City. Them two games weren't unfinished. Let's see, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Them two games weren't unfinished. When I remember when I played, maybe they might did some early access stuff when them games very first released, but I ain't hear anything about them games being unfinished. I played Left 4 Dead 2. That game was fun. Played 1 too. That game is fun too. Let's see, Def Jam Fight for New York. That game wasn't unfinished. Let's see some other games on this list. Madden NFL 07. That game wasn't unfinished when I played it for the first time. Let's see some other games that I have on this list. Yeah, there's a few. Call of Duty Ghosts. A lot of different Call of Duty games. I'm trying to think of some other ones. But overall, the point that I'm trying to make is that it doesn't make any sense that we're going backwards when it comes to gaming. That doesn't make any sense to me. And that's something that I have been trying to figure out for the longest. Why are we going backwards when it comes to gaming? And you would think that, you know, okay, like you see so many different people coming out with fully functional working games, like it shouldn't be no problem for the high-end developers, the developers behind Call of Duty, behind Madden, behind Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, behind Undisputed. You know, it's like you see these games and it's like, fam, these are mistakes that the indie developers should be making, not the big developers. And to me, that confuses the life out of me. I'm like, fam, what is going on? That's what I have been trying to figure out for the longest. What is going on? Because it really, and I mean, it really confuses me, bruh. I have been playing video games almost my whole life, bro. Almost my whole life. I ain't never seen where gaming has been this bad. And that's one thing that I have been talking on is like, I'm telling you, come next year when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, like I'm really hoping. And the thing is this, what concerns me is that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out and it's not going to be good. You know, and so I don't know. I would like to think that when that game does come out, it's going to be the best game of all time. But a part of me is losing faith in that game going to be a good game. You know, and I see where we're at with gaming right now, I'm like, fam, I mean, even if we are talking on Rockstar Games and their like video games, I know people say, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, that was a good game. But yeah, I have to say probably the story, but when it came to that multiplayer part of the game, it didn't live up to Red Dead Redemption 1. Red Dead Redemption 1, I'm like, multiplayer, that's something that I just remember playing, when was the last time I think I do remember, playing, Red Dead Redemption 1, like, between them two games, I think 1 was the last time I did play, online. I could be mistaken, but I had more fun playing, Red Dead Redemption 1 online than I did 2. 2 just seemed like it was all over the place. Like, they didn't even really focus on that game because they were so focused and caught up with Grand Theft Auto 5. And I'm telling you right now, I'm like, Rockstar, you guys better shut down production on everything's with Grand Theft Auto 5. I ain't trying to see no more updates, no more promotions, no nothing. I ain't trying to see no remasters. You guys have been working on Grand Theft Auto 5 for 11 years now. Give it up, okay? Give it all the way up. Maybe, yeah, like 20 years down the road, come out with a remastered version then. But for now, you guys, not even that. My thing is this. I don't want to see no more updates with Grand Theft Auto 5 whatsoever. Because I'm saying, and that's something where I'm like, that just to me, that would be pointless. You got a whole new Grand Theft Auto game out and you're still coming out with updates for Grand Theft Auto 5? I know, bro. I'm like, they do some stuff like that. I'm like, I don't even know if I would go. I probably will buy that game, but I ain't going to be playing it. Because I'm like, nah, man, it's like, that's something where it's like, yeah, I already know I'm going to go out and buy Grand Theft Auto 6. And that's the thing where it's like, even if that game ain't even working all the way, I know that I'm still going to go out and buy it. But I feel like that's just going to push me closer to just giving up on gaming altogether. Yeah, I might play an indie game here and there, but overall, though, I'm like, nah, man, the only thing that I'm going to focus on when it comes to gaming is playing the games that I got, keeping the games that I actually like, whatever games that don't make it to that list, get rid of them. Either give them back to the retro game store, give them to GameStops, donate them to some kids. But overall, I'm like, yeah, my time with gaming, it's getting to a point where I'm like, I don't want to be really want to play video games like that anymore. Because it's just, to me, it's like the developers don't care, so why should I care? I'm like, they don't care, so why should I? So that's why I'm like, nah, man, it's just something where I'm like, you know what? When developers get their act together, then I have to say that's when I'll be a little bit more passionate with some video games. But until then, yeah, you'll catch me playing a lot of different indie games, because right now, the AAA title games, yeah, they got some stuff going on, and it don't make any sense to me. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on a podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.